in West New York. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's New Way Auto Parts 150. Runner-up here in 2021, Justin Bonsignore with his fourth pole of the season. Matt Hirschman, 2 wins this year, will start along the front row. Austin Beers, he's the Richmond winner. And Chuck Hosfeld, 7-time series winner, makes his first start this season. Doug will be a 6-time Whelen Modified Tour champion. And one of the local drivers, Tyler Ripkema, the nearby Owego, New York, starts 6th. Go back outside the top 10. Anthony Cecily starts 11th. Anthony Nocella alongside Kyle Bonsignore. A strong run for him. Kyle Uppersole, Tim Conley, Ken Hagee, Gary McDonald, Tommy Wanek, and Melissa Fifield round out the starting lineup for tonight's New Way Auto Part 150. This is a racetrack where you can run 2 wide. It's a 2-groove track, so if you've got a fast car, you can certainly slice and dice your way through the field and make up ground. There is Justin Bonsignore as the field rolls through turns 3 and 4, about ready to turn him loose here in her packed grandstand at Lancaster Motorplex. Race car is in and the green flag is out of the New Way Auto Parts 150.
That's Doug Roby and Ronnie Silk. Silk qualified in 9th, now still inside the top 10, but is a front runner and certainly the point leader into tonight's event. A driver who qualified 9th, that is a story in its own right, qualifying mid-pack.
We'll see if they can get that car rolling a little bit faster in race trim. In the tire tracks of Justin Bonsignore.
In 2021, John McKennedy led the majority of the first half of this race, running on the bottom side. It's only when he moved up the racetrack about 12, 18 inches is when he started to run into trouble. So Bonsignore still fine as far as the handle goes on the race car. Looking for a little speed, though, off of turn number 4 as Beers is right on the back bumper.
Beers in the tire track, this time into turn number 1. See the lap traffic up ahead that the race near Matt Hirschman will have here in a couple of moments. As they go back into turn 3, you see the closing rate for Beers much better on entry at the beginning of turn 3, but lap traffic will prevent his progress.
Car number 3, Brian Narducci, having another start in the old blue car, and every time he's been out in that race car this year, they've been ultra fast, running in the top 5 in Richmond for a number of laps, and good to see the number 3 up inside the top 10 here tonight thus far. But it is all Matt Hirschman. Hirschman up in front by about 5 car lengths. Then it's Austin Beers, and now you focus in on Kobe in the 7 New York, right behind Hosfeld in the 14. Something tells me Hosfeld, he is extremely, or has been extremely smooth the first 34 laps of this race. Just kind of picking and choosing. Actually swings wide a little bit as I say that. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hosfeld letting the race come to him as we progress here through the first half of the event. But he has a mirror full of Kobe off of turn number 4.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And Chuck Hosfeld was really focused on being smart in this race. Very experienced in NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competition. 7-time winner, but the last time he won was 2008. He had stepped away to focus on RV business, his car dealership, and a small wedding venue that they have not far from here on their homestead here in Western New York. He knows how to run with these guys, and he's very well respected in modified racing, but he also knows that he doesn't do this every week. And he said, I've got to be smart, I've got to be aware of what's going on around me and have a good, clean pit stop, save my stuff for the end, and when it counts, then I'm going to use everything I've got left out of that 14 car. Tommy Catalano continuing to stay with these guys. He's running very quick lap times that equal them. He'll take a step to the outside lane to see if there's any room up there to the outside of Kobe.
As they go around Melissa Fifield in the 0-1, Hosfeld holds onto it. They go back into turn number 3, and there's Doug Kobe, who narrowly was in that major, that wild finish at Loudon last time out. And, you know, a lot has been talked about the 3 drivers really chasing the championship this year, and the fact that, yeah, they'll get into each other, they'll rub, but they will do it respectfully. Hirschman is up in front. He's been up there since about lap number 22. Swings wide that time through 1 and 2. It's going to cost him a little ground.
He's got a healthy advantage back to Austin Beers, who runs in 2nd. But Beers did close in as he worked that lap traffic. He gained about 0.3 of a second just because of that move, Andy. You see the gap, though, pretty heavy. And there's Austin Beers now behind all these lap machines. Tommy Wanek, Ken Hagee. Austin Beers goes well wide at turn number 1, and he will give up the same speed and ground that Matt Hirschman did a lap ago.
And Matt Hirschman continues to lead this race. Ronnie Silk continues to lead the standings and laps led in the Whelen Modified Tour this year. Coming into this race, and to this point, he has led 396 laps. Matt Hirschman, number 7 in the point standings, despite missing 2 races. He's currently number 3 in the standings when it comes to laps led with 324. So you throw in the 50 or some odd laps that he's led here tonight. Hirschman, despite missing 2 races, would that happen if he was the lap leader for the entire season? He's closing in on Silk in that stat.
Here's Motorsports number 45 car, blue car usually, and that car always super, super quick. There's Sly Zabin. He is one of the crew chiefs for the 64 of Austin Beers, and he is one of the brain trust of this team. There is a 19, though, that brings out the caution flag. Caution flag is out, 19 laps to go. This time it's for Anthony Cecily here at Lancaster Motorplex.
That is a tough break for Cecily, who was running up inside the top 10 very early in the race. Solid run for car number 19, but yeah, you can see the suspension is used up big time after major contact.
Anthony Cecily involved there, and you know, so the only time he's really finished worse than 6th has been when he's had crashes. Austin Beers, going for his 2nd win of the season, will line up alongside a championship point leader and former champion in Ron Silk. Austin Beers said, I've got to be more aggressive on the restarts. I can't give up spots anymore. He did that once tonight to take the lead. Can he do it again against Ronnie Silk as we get down to the final few laps here in Lancaster?
Green flag is out. Silk got the shot from Doug Kobe, and they launch into turn number 1, still side by side. Advantage to Austin Beers off of turn number 2.
Beers leads the way. Here comes big money Matt Hirschman, though. This caution might have played into his hand. He works to the inside line and takes over 2nd over Ronnie Silk.
Tommy Samolino down to the inside in car number 54, battling right behind Silk. He'll put Kobe and drop kick him back a spot. And then there's Justin Bonsignor is moving up.
Here's Catalano inside lane underneath Kobe. Bonsignor trying to fill the gap to the bottom. See if he can close in and follow in the tire tracks.
Look at that, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Something's got to give. It's going to be Salamino sideways. He gathers it back up. So does Bonsignor, and there's dust kicking up in turns 1 and 2.
What a save by Tommy Catalano and everybody with the rest of the field, but Bonsignor. Hirschman starting to fade. Austin Beers, he's got a comfortable, what it seems like, 2 car length advantage. Hirschman kicking up dust in turn 1, but his car gets sideways.
It's a last-ditch effort for Matt Hirschman. How bad do you want it? Austin Beers off of turn number 4 leads this race with 2 laps to go. The left front tire nearly comes off of 4.
Turning it, hammer down on that front straightaway. Backstretch, 3, now 4 car lengths the advantage for Austin Beers. He'll look for the white flag this time.
Just has to hit his marks, has the 3 telling him how to run this final lap, and they go into turn number 1 with lap traffic ahead.
Working to the outside of Alyssa Fifield. That allows Hirschman to close in. Turn number 3 for Austin Beers. He's got a healthy advantage now as he comes off turn number 4. And Austin Beers, for the 2nd time this season, wins in the Whelen Modified Tour.
Matt Hirschman comes across in 2nd. Great battle right down to it, and you see the team celebrating. What a moment. First time since Richmond. They go to the win, and they chip off just a little bit in the 2023 championship for the Whelen Modified. And you talk about promotion. You talk about the fan experience. These fans treated to an amazing race tonight. Great pyro display at the very end of this one.
Taking a look at the results of the New Way Auto Parts 150 with tonight's winner, Austin Beers, joins Patrick Immerling as the only other modified tour driver to pick up a checkered flag at Lancaster Motorplex. Matt Hirschman, with a strong car all night, battled his way back to the front. He finishes in 2nd. Championship points leader Ron Silk maintains control of the season standings with a 3rd-place run over Justin Bonsignor. Doug Kobe and his Mayhew Tools team finishes in 7th, with Brian Narducci, Kyle Bonsignor, and Kyle Ebersol rounding out the top 10. Only 2 cautions in tonight's race. Anthony Cecily with a spin out with 20 laps to go. He finishes in 17th. And Mike Leedy battles his way through the field, but issues late in the race pushed him to the back. He finishes in 20th.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.